Yo, Joe!
Hello everybody and welcome to another figure review. I'm still sick. I'm recording this back to back with Ripper, so if you've seen that video or came from that video, thank you guys for watching that one. But we have Agent Helix here, a much more, I would say, modern or a much more newer character introduced into G.I. Joe. I think it was somewhere in the 2000s, I think even past the 2005 mark. I'm not too sure, but yeah, she was introduced in the comics, I believe. And other than that, I'm not too familiar with her. She's a great figure, though. She looks great, poses well, and the accessories are tons of fun. But let's take a close look at the packaging here. And excuse me. Standard, packaging. We have her name here, Agent Helix. We have the Joe logo. We have her there in that nice portrait. And I'll get into this portrait and, the actual figure in a minute. Just because I feel like I wish the face was meaner and resembled a little bit more of the portrait. Because, the digital render here and the actual figure, she looks a bit more chubby in the face rather than, sleek, slender kind of face. And she isn't as mean as in the portrait. I wish she could have had that kind of expression going on in the figure, but that's just me. There's the figure, not the figure, the accessories there, the classified logo at the top. A cool little scene going on. We have the SWAT team. I assume she's a SWAT member. I mean, either that or it's, story, with scenery, because we also are getting Shockwave in the same wave, and he's SWAT, so maybe he's helping her in this situation. But yeah, she seems to be in the neighborhood. There's that cool portrait, number 104. We skipped a number, but, Amazon decides to ship these things all separately for some reason. But yeah, there we have a piece of tape going over a portrait. That's kind of ugly. Doesn't matter, I'm gonna throw this away anyway, but she has a nice portrait there. Of course, the blue over here, QR code, ability, skills, digital render, all accessories, a few zoom in shots of the figure. And yes, inside you do get the tray with the black and white portrait. With that being said, let's quickly move on over to the figure with accessories. Now, in terms of accessories, we get this blade here. I'm not sure what it's called. I don't know if it's the same name as the one that came with Shooter, but Shooter had a much smaller knife. This is an actual sword, kind of machete kind of length blade, but it does store in her belt, which is a kind of a weird fit. And I don't know if it's just stuck there now. It doesn't want to come out. It is kind of cold now, so maybe plastic isn't as warm. There we go. So, it's kind of an odd storage there. I assume you just put it in that way and it holds on in there. So there's that piece of storage. But as you can see here, we have a nice handle texture detailing there with a nice blade over here painted with not really silver, it's just a shiny kind of gray, kind of molded in that color. So yeah, there's that blade. That's one of them. We have dual machine pistols. I assume they're machine pistols. She has the extended clips there. Mine seem to have some sort of glue or paint splashed on them, or at least on this one, not this one so much. But yeah, these are a brand new mold. I do have issues with these related to the storage. They're very soft plastic, the magazine, and the rest is pretty sturdy, but for the most part, magazine is kind of flimsy. You can port blast effects on there, but the reason I have an issue is the storage. These seem to be a bit too tight for the pistol, so when you store them in there, they're a bit hard to take out again, and I really struggled with that. I'm not sure if everyone or anybody else struggles with that. But yeah, once you put them in there, at least for me, they're very tough to get out, which is a bit unfortunate, but I think I may pose her with the 2 machine pistols. And I say I may because she just looks way too badass holding 2 swords and having these additional sort of sword contraptions here. And these are pretty neat. They just go over her forearm, but they do hinge here at the bottom, so they go back all the way that much, and then they go forward about that much, and then this swivels up here as well, so you can do that. It can go also all the way back. So there's a lot of posability with these 2 hinges, and you can get her into some very cool poses with these. I don't know. I like them, I dig them. I don't know how realistic these things are. Like I said, she is more of a newer character. And, you know, G.I. Joe may have been smoking some weed and they were just like, yeah, just give her some weird, you know, Dr. Octopus kind of blades that just go all over the place. But yeah, you just add these other 2 blades and it's just swords going everywhere. But we've seen these before with the movie Storm Shadow as well as Kamakura. You know, you can see that patterning in the blade. Very nice. These are molded in black, I believe, and painted with yellow. Which the yellow I'm not too happy with. It just kind of looks very splotchy to me. But you can see the details there in the handle. I thought the yellow kind of obstructs or, you know, kind of covers the detailing a bit. It's not as prominent, but these are reused, and I don't mind these swords. They're pretty cool. I like the detailing with them. And you also get that same sword sheath that we saw with that same movie Storm Shadow and Kamakura. So, you know, you can store the swords in there. And that's pretty much it for accessories. Now, in terms of storage, I already showed you the pistol going there. I'm not going to do it now. This blade thing, I still don't know what the name is. I assume just goes in this way and it will hold on pretty well. And then you do have your 2 swords. They go in. Pretty sturdy storage. And then these you can just store on her forearms. As such, I mean, you can like bend them down so that they're retracted, and you know, kind of retracted mode, and then they extend out and it's just ready for attack. Reminds me of Dr. Octopus, or you know, what is it called? Iron Spider, I believe. But yeah, that's just very cool. But let's take a close look at the figure itself, because we are seeing some reuse, at least down here. These are from the original Scarlet figure that we got at the start of the classified line, and I don't mind them, honestly. They're good. They're a good mold. I'm stumbling my words, but they're a good mold. I don't mind them. People may complain about the pins. I don't necessarily care. But you do get a lot of good range with these. But yeah, they're making great return here, and I'm here for it. I'm not too upset with the reuse. And I believe, yeah, this is new ab and new torso and new arms, new belt piece as well. So, you know, a good blend of new and old. With that being said, her articulation could be better in some areas. Her head kind of gets obstructed by this back piece, so if you don't want to take that off, yeah, she can look back a little bit more. She can look down about that much, pretty decent, and then she does have some good pivoting. The arms go down about that much and then out pretty far out. You do have some butterfly joints that are not so useful, you know. It's a bit unfortunate because they do have the butterfly there, but it's just not as functional as other figures. And then we do get the bicep sole there, double jointed arms. These are new and they are for a female character, so that's nice to see. Pretty well, look at that. And then no forearm rotation, but you do get the, you know, swivel at the arms, or the hands I should say, and they both have vertical hinges, but you know, mine are very limited. You don't really see the hinge there, so that's about as much as you'll get out of them. This is where my complaint is in terms of articulation. She doesn't really crunch forward all that much. Let me bring down her arm because it's getting in the way. She doesn't crunch forward very well. She can go pretty far back. That's pretty good. You know, you can even see the ball joint in there. But forward, not so much, and that's a bit disappointing since she is very, you know, agile character with all those swords. So, you know, it'd be cool to have some cool crunch poses, you know, going absolutely crazy. But, you know, side to side is pretty good, but the forward movement, not so much. And it's not even that this is hitting this sculpt here, because there's plenty of room in there. I just don't know what happened here for the articulation. I may pop off the torso and, you know, drill out or, you know, cut away some excess plastic and get it to move forward. So, future project for future me. You can kick forward very well. You can kick to the side. It's okay. Not the best. Back, not so much. You get the thigh swivel, double jointed knee, so that's pretty good. This kind of bumps into there, but that's pretty good range. Foot goes back, forward, and then you do have the ankle pivot forward. Not so much. You have that shin guard that it kind of bumps into. But yeah, that's the articulation for Agent Helix here. My final thoughts are that you should try and get her if you want. I know she's a newer character, so maybe a lot of people don't know about her or don't really care about her. But she looks cool. I mean, I forgot to look into some minor details that she has, you know, painted and whatnot. She has a bandit there, which kind of looks off. But, you know, it's there. We have her yellow suit, which I really like. I'm not a big fan of yellow, but it works here. She has some weird icon there. And there's the head sculpt, which I wish had that meaner look and more sleek. As you can see, she looks a bit chubby depending where you look at her from. There, she's not too bad, but here she looks kind of chubby. Also, I don't know what to do with this hairpiece. I don't really like it being there. If we put it to the side, I don't know. I may glue it down that way. See if that works. Yeah, I think I do like how that looks more, because it just, man, it's hit or miss with me. I may glue this over here on this side. I think I may like that a bit more. Her eyes, they're there, painted very well. Her eyebrows and everything. So yeah, the hair has some weird like speckling going on, which I just noticed right now up close with the camera. There's some weird speckling going on, but yeah. The rest is just sort of gray and black. But yeah, the new belt piece there has some silver painted and a few like grenades or whatever. And you know, different armor pieces and whatnot. But my final thoughts are, if you want her, if she seems like an interesting character, I should say pick her up. You won't be disappointed. The articulation is a bit more desired for this one, especially for her agility. But for the most part, you can get her into some very cool poses. That's about as much as I have to say about her. Let me know if you guys plan on picking her up, or if you already did. You know, let me know, you know, your opinions down in the comments. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and, you know, enjoy the random footage I'm starting to throw here at the end of these videos. And I'll see you guys in a future video.